G'day and a fine howdy hey guys, I'm Camby Carrera, and for today's video I'd like to talk about a teacher I once had. So, a few years ago I had a teacher who, well actually I had two, fun fact. I'll explain in a bit. So, first I'm going to tell a side story just like the last video before getting to the main topic of the video. But, basically I had this teacher who was half there, and then there'd be another teacher to take their place. It was like a dual class. So one class you might have this teacher, and then one class you might have another teacher. It's just how things went. It was a tiny school. Oh, my voice, hello. But basically this teacher had this class, you know, half and half with her. That's all great and dandy, no problems with that at all. But this was in a drama class. What were you expecting? It was either drama or some other class. It was some form of a drama class. I don't remember. They all blend into one over time, so But basically I remember most classes we'd have this other teacher, and you know, they'd help us with our little performance thing for the end of the year. It would be all great. We'd have this solid idea. Then would come in this other teacher, and she'd be like, but what about this? You know, she'd probably come in with a PewDiePie chair and flip back and be like, but can you do this? Oh, jeez. You know, she'd change a lot of what we planned. Like, we would all be like okay with this, you know, idea of our play, and then, you know, she'd come in and be like, what's up? How you going? I have this idea. And every week or two, you know, the play idea would be changed, and it was just a friggin' nightmare. It was just awful, you know. And then by the time the end of that first year came, we basically were struggling to even get a play started, and you know, she sat us down and was like, you know, I'm not gonna make this play happen this year because of how far behind we are. But like, we wouldn't have been far behind if we just had an idea and stuck with it, you know. After a while she did let us do our thing, but like, when you get an idea, you don't keep changing it. Fuck. Like, I don't know how hard that is to understand, but like, when you've got an idea, you're just gonna go along with it, you know. You don't just change the idea. But yeah, so that's the little taste of what this teacher can be. She's not as bad as the previous video, by the way. They're not the same teacher. Just a heads up. Fuck off, motorbike. Jesus Christ. So loud outside my window. How dare thee? Jeez. Some people. But but yes. Can you stop recording, please? Thank you. Okay, so now for the part you actually probably clicked on this video for, probably not. Who knows? It'll be anything, but you're here now, so here's the actual part that made me make this video. So many years ago, because everything's never done in the present anymore. I mean, I don't go to school anymore. I don't know what you were expecting from me, but basically, many years ago, we had this theatrical class. I think, yeah, I think my friend Amber was in it as well, so she'd probably remember this, because I remember this distinctly. Now I just gotta clarify that before we get into it, it's not as bad as what people might perceive it to be overseas, you know. At least we don't have RA-15s, or whatever that song is. What? I don't even know what it's like, a type of gun. I don't know. But we don't have, like, gun laws. Well, I mean, we do. Fuck. Diggy diggy hole, am I right? Jesus Christ. But, you know, we don't have guns. So, when I tell you the situation, it's not as bad as it probably could be to some audiences, but it was still pretty bad for me to, I mean, for example, for me to make this video, because, well, let's be honest, that was bullshit. So basically, one day, you know, we were performing, we were behind on performances, you know, we were struggling to finish our quota. Surprise, surprise, for the second year with this teacher. You know, struggling to make our quota for the end of the year. You know, who would have thought? But basically, I keep making mouth noises because I've just had like chocolate, so now I'm getting that, you know, sticky feeling in your throat. You know, it's very good. I need to stop derailing. I should really script. But basically, we'll, you know, not meeting our quota, we were struggling to finish our play for the end of the year. It was great. It's not even a play, like, we weren't even gonna, oh no, we don't know that one, we were gonna perform at school. I'm gonna sit over here and, yeah. But one day, the school decided there'd be a little sound on the, you know, loudspeakers, you know, the whole school could hear it, yeah. And we could tell by the teacher's reaction that it wasn't planned, you know. A lot of teachers, when a drill happens, for example, you know, they're like, okay guys, I knew this drill was happening, everything's alright. But you know it's not a drill when the teacher looks up at, like, the speaker, or looks out in the middle of nowhere and just lips the word, what the fuck? That's when you know it's not a drill. Like, we heard the lockdown alarm go off, and she's just there like, no! Like, you know, you have a love for drama when you'd rather do drama than fear for your own safety over an unplanned alarm. But basically, what later happened kind of shocked me. So we're in, like, the safest room in the building. Like, it was to the point where another class had to come into our room to be safe in the lockdown, I suppose. I don't even remember what the lockdown was even about. I don't think we were told. I think, like, maybe a parent came to school with a knife or something. I don't know. A lot of shit happened at that school, but the teacher, you know, of course, she audibly at first, you know, went, no! Because I will never forget that. That was probably the most funniest thing on that day. And she then sat there for a moment thinking what to do. Everyone was like, well, we're going to go into lockdown mode because this is clearly not a drill, you know. The teacher just clearly yelled out no, as in, like, you know, she wasn't prepared for that fact. So clearly it's not a drill, right? So clearly you go into lockdown mode for the safety of the students. Because this teacher decides to yell out, no, just keep going, we're too far behind, we need all the rehearsals we can get. Like, what the fuck? It's a lockdown. Come on, come on! Like, what happens if, like, worst case scenario, right? A gunman did show up. You'd feel pretty fucking guilty. You told them to keep playing. Because not only are you risking your class, but you're also risking another class, right? There was another class in there with us, and they had to watch in silence, right? Their teacher told them, you know, be quiet. But the teacher didn't have authority over our class, because she was like a sub or something. So she was just one of those, like, replacement teachers for when the teacher was actually away. She came in, she sat her kids down, and of course she had no authority over our teacher, because our teacher is, you know, she's got a position at that school, so she's of authority. And I think she's also, like, the head of, like, the drama thing or something, I don't know. But anyway, this teacher, like, was in charge, you know. So the sub couldn't really do much about it, so our teacher just was like, you know, keep going with the play, you know, we're too far behind, we just gotta keep going. So, and it was, like, at the part where it was gonna be, like, the loudest, like, we were playing music and everything. It was ridiculous. I even said to the teacher, you know, hey, I don't think this is okay, I think we should actually have the lockdown, that's what the lockdown is for. And she's like, no, we're just gonna continue, we don't have much of a choice. Like, we do have much of a choice, actually. You know, lockdowns happen for a reason. I don't think people realize this, but normally lockdowns happen to, you know, make sure nothing happens to your life, you know. If someone comes in to school with a knife or something that can harm someone and the school goes into lockdown, you're meant to follow it, right? You're meant to follow it because it is for the safety of your students. It is just something you're meant to do. But this teacher was like, no, we're just going to continue doing whatever. Thank God we were fine. Like, nothing happened to us. We didn't see shit, you know, as you could tell of my lack of knowledge of what actually happened with the intruder or whatever. Who knows? It was probably a fucking cat on the oval. Like, the school was that weird, but, like, still, it was a lockdown, and, like, if something really badly went wrong, like, what would have happened to those students? What would have happened to us? You know, if there was an actual, like, dangerous intruder on grounds, and she just kept going, well, you know, our lives would have been at risk, you know. And those doors are difficult to fucking unlock, you know. So, I don't know. I give up. You know. So be it. Yeah.